Hi there, you're with English Coach. I'm Simon, and I'm here to talk to you today about focus and application. Let's start off with two key ideas today, and those two key ideas are your positive mental attitude and your focus. Two of the big ingredients that you'll need for any kind of venture or endeavor that you want to go after and create some kind of value, personal or financial. Uh, One of the things that I have to mention here before we get into it too much is the cost of a negative attitude. And that is you have a low application of the ideas or all of the great ideas that you have every week. You have a very low application of them in real life. You every day or every week, most of us have ideas about things that we could possibly do to either improve our lives or invest in some kind of endeavor or in some kind of asset or in some kind of great idea. With a negative mental attitude, you destroy that somewhat, or you make it invalid because you don't have the positive faith, which is absolutely fundamental in being able to believe and create that idea. So believe in and create that idea. So without that positive faith, I'm not talking about religious faith here, I'm talking about positive faith in yourself and in your idea. That idea cannot be applied. So you have a very low application rate for all of your ideas when you have a negative mental attitude. So you need to really put strength into that positive mental attitude. Second point here is focus. Now, the cost of not focusing means that you go through many really nice ideas, not being able to focus on or not being able to apply these ideas either. You may start the idea, you may feel fantastic about the idea, but get very bored easily and go through many ideas and not actually apply any specific one. What do you lose with that? Well, basically, you lose all of those ideas that you created because you only executed on tiny parts of those ideas and then you gave up. So actually you lose everything. You lose all of the money that you're spending in that time on those ideas. You lose all of the time that you've spent on those ideas as well. And that's quite terrible because you look back and okay, you learn a little bit about the ideas, but you learn more perhaps about creating elaborate excuses about why the thing didn't work instead of kind of owning up and saying that you have a low threshold of sticking power and that you need to give up early so that you don't waste any more of your energy or your time on that thing because it's probably not going to go well. And then that's that negative outlook coming in again. Okay, so where should we how should we conjure this positive attitude and more specifically this focus on applying ideas, which is so important in our everyday lives as we have so many millions of distractions. So my idea was to look at that idiom in the English language, which is a bird in the hand is worth two in the bush. I think this gives us the idea of focus. Why? Because if you think about it, the birds are like ideas. They're kind of flying around, right? Flying around your head. And so you have the big forest inside your head, which is not so tangible. It's harder to get those fixed ideas out of. And then you've got those ideas that you bring to the front of your focus there in your mind, where you can really elaborate on what it is that you want to achieve, how you're going to achieve it, and everything else. So a bird in the hand is worth two in the bush is like that. You are holding on to one idea. The value of that idea may be even smaller than the potential ideas that are less understood or recognized flying around your brain. But this idea is something that you have now, you understand it, and you can see it more clearly in your hand. You know what kind of idea it is, and then you start working on that. Now, that brings me to my second point, which is taking one idea or applying one idea as far as it can go. That means without giving up at those points during the creation of this idea, will either give you some kind of sound venture, create some kind of small business, or on the other hand, if it doesn't go too well on execution, you will have a tremendous opportunity to learn. Now, a lot of you will say in this moment here that the opportunity to learn from the mistake is the whole reason you're not interested in doing it, because you want to have that success. You're not willing to be open to this window of a mistake or something going wrong. But one thing that you need to understand about that is a mistake, as mentioned by Napoleon Hill, is just a seed for success. It means that if you take that mistake and learn from it, metaphorically, you're planting a seed for a separate tree to grow and give you the kind of stability and the kind of certainty that you need to make your next decision, because you know that that didn't work. So now you know, basically, in all of the ideas that you've been applying, you've focused on what doesn't actually work, and it's pointing you in another direction or giving you an even better way of executing on that idea. The main ideas of focus are not exactly putting all of your attention and all your vision into one thing, but sticking to one idea and working on that idea until it is a finished product, week after week, month after month, without stopping. Because many people have many different ways of piking out of their idea or not staying with the idea. It could be they give up completely and stay rather stagnant or idle, or they find something else more interesting. They unknowingly or unwittingly give up on something that's already got a foundation for something that's more lofty and fun, which is often retarded. It's a really retarded way of living your life, because those things that you are building on will reach that level of being lofty and fun, but you still need to build 3 stories on that. So you instead of doing that, you take another beautiful idea. The result will be shiny and sparkly, and you try to aim for that, but you won't actually go through those levels of its foundation and its first 2 or 3 floors, so you can get to that fun part. Always wondering, what went wrong. And what went wrong is you're unable to deal with the boredom of the process. You're unable to deal with the mundane part of the work that gets you there, which is more like the discipline, or looking at the colors of the same bird, or realizing, the understanding the species of the bird that we're talking about as the metaphor for the idea in more detail, and understanding what it's capable of for the venture or the business that you want to create. So, breaking it down, positive mental attitude is a must to create the positive faith that you need to have in the idea. Secondly, focusing on the idea and sticking power. Being able to continue when it's boring, being able to have the minimum discipline, and being able to continue building it and being satisfied with that process of building without looking at all of these other ideas at the same time. General result is always successful. If you get the tangible result fantastic, congratulations. If you make a big mistake, fantastic, congratulations, you learn something, you know. Of course you learn by success as well, you learn what works, but it's also really important to make those mistakes, whether they are mistakes that put the whole project into question, or whether they are mistakes that just help you to understand how the project has to be built in a better way. Thanks for watching my video today. Please like or subscribe and join my channel. And I'll see you next time on English Coach.